Welcome to the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Nashira and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Carolinas. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, Francis Marion University.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. My name is Karen Spears, and I'm a transfer counselor at Francis Marion University. We are located in Florence, South Carolina, and we're a 4-year public institution. Our in-state tuition per semester is $5,580. Our out-of-state tuition per semester is $10,772. Our undergraduate students, we have 3,850 students with a total enrollment of 4,000 students. Our student faculty ratio is 15:1. And today I'm going to go over with you how to apply, the requirements, and just a little more information about me. So to apply, you would go to our website, www.fmarion.edu, or you can go to the link here and apply. You would create an account and then you would select transfer. Our top majors are health sciences, which will be the nursing program and the pre-professional, such as pre-med, pre-dental, pre-pharm, those programs. The School of Business also is popular with accounting, marketing, computer science, and the list will go on. Engineering is also popular with mechanical and industrial. We have the School of Business, and another popular major will be psychology. To the second step, you would apply, sending your transcripts to us using that documents email. You have to have a 2.0 GPA and 22 transferable hours. So if you have fewer than that, then you will need to send your high school transcript and your SAT or ACT scores. You will pay the fee as of right now. The application fee is waived until November 1st. And like I said, if you have fewer than 22 hours, then you would send your test scores. Again, you have to be eligible to your most recent institution, have at least a 2.0 GPA on all completed collegiate work, and have at least 22 transferable hours from a regionally accredited institution. Some resources that we have available are the transfer guide, the application, the catalog on our website, SC Track for universities. You can send your transcripts through Parchment, and we also use National Clearinghouse. Our deadline, we operate on a rolling admission. We do have 2 scholarship for transfers, and both of those are due on June 1st. So the regular transfer scholarship June 1st and Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society on June 1st. And the eligibility for those, you have to be admitted to FMU for the transfer and plan to attend in the fall semester. And for Phi Theta Kappa, plan to attend in the fall, have a 3.2 cumulative GPA at your current institution. If you would like for us to review your transcripts, they have to be official so that we can send them over to registrar's office, but we can look at them unofficially as well, but only the official ones will be sent over to the registrar's office. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to contact me. Ms. Jessica Foxworth is no longer with us, sadly, so I'm the one that will be reviewing your files. And if you have any questions, this is my information and phone number. And this is also the website's information. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis Marion University. We'll now have Southern Wesleyan University.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm trying to get my screen shared here. I'm not sure if it wants to share it or not here. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't want to share the screen. Can you see?
No, we're unable to see the screen.
I don't know. That's strange. Try something here. Not sure what's going on with it. It won't let us see the screen at all here. Let me try this. Oh goodness, it's not going to let us share it, it appears. So let me just go ahead and just talk with you. My name is Brian Swords. I'm the Vice President for Enrollment Management here at Southern Wesleyan. Southern Wesleyan is located in Central South Carolina. We are centrally located between Anderson and Charlotte. We're about 2 hours from each. We're about 5 minutes from Clemson, 15 minutes from the Greenville area. We are a 4-year private liberal arts institution, have an enrollment of about 1,525 students. We have a good combination of students. We have a very around 750 to 800 students on campus. And then we have about the same number online. We have an online campus as well. Tuition is right at 25,700 for it's for the tuition. But with transfer students, you get a pretty sizable scholarship. About half of that is taken off in scholarship. We have 3 pillars of uniqueness with the university: inventive learning, which is our experimental learning. We provide you with learning outside of the classroom. Examples of that may be our criminal justice house, where we have it set up like it's just like crime scenes. Our forensics program, where you're actually working with hands-on scenes. Our media arts department that puts on a media arts newscast on campus. We're a faith-filled community, and I had several pictures of that, so I wish you could see some of the performances and concerts we've had on campus, as well as some of the other things, such as our generosity within the community that we do, where we open up a lot of our athletic facilities for the community. Several points of pride: our undergraduate fields of study. With our forensics programs, we're one of the only forensics programs in the southeastern United States. Our education program has a 100% placement rate, and our science program is a pre-med. Our pre-med students, 100% of our students get their first choice in medical school, which is something that most schools that have a pre-med program cannot say. Our business program is a combination of not only the business programs, but you also can get certifications within those programs, such as the certified financial manager certification can go along with the business degree. We also compete in intercollegiate athletics, Division II, Carolina Conference. We have 18 men's and women's teams. I'll try to get the screen. I'll try to share that with the folks that are putting this on before anybody can get the presentation. A couple of things here, just real quick. If you have a 3.75 GPA, you can get up to $11,000 in scholarship. 3.5 to a 3.7 is $10,000. 3.0 to a 3.2 is a $7,000 scholarship just for being a transfer student. If you have any questions, you may contact us at admissions@swu.edu or 864-644-5560. And again, I do apologize for the presentation not showing on the screen.
Thank you so much. We'll have Benedict College next.
Hey everyone, how are you guys doing today? My name is Cedric Love. I am an admissions recruiter and counselor here at Benedict College. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we're able to see the screen.
Okay, great. So Benedict College was founded by a woman by the name of Miss Bathsheba Benedict in 1870. And for 150 years, we were led by men. We are currently led by a woman now, which is the first female president, Dr. Rosalind Clark Artist, and she's also the 14th president of Benedict College. All right, so some admissions requirements, you have to have at least a 2.0 GPA. Also, the SAT and ACT scores are being waived, so we are test optional, and you would need your official transcript. So what we have to offer here at Benedict, we have the Tyrone Adam Burroughs School of Business and Entrepreneurship, School of Arts and Sciences, School of Education, Health, and Human Services. So our top 5 course of studies, which are our top majors, one being business administration, the other being social work, biology, justice administration, and psychology. And so this is a little bit about the Tyrone Adams Burroughs Schools of Business and Entrepreneurship. This is one of our top majors here at Benedict College. A lot of students that come in geared towards the School of Business. And what's listed now are some of the areas that the program offers. So campus life here at Benedict College, currently we have 2,100 students enrolled, 59% being female, 41 being male. In-state students, we have 40%. Out-of-state students, which is kind of crazy. We have more out-of-state students, which is 60%. We have in ratio of 18-1 faculty student to faculty. Also, Benedict is in the top 30 private schools that has one flat rate of tuition. And I will get to that after this slide. So student services. So Benedict offers a student success center for incoming freshmen and sophomore. It helps with tutoring, building resumes, interviewing skills. We also have career pathways, which help the juniors and seniors with their internships and job fairs. Service learning and leadership development. The service learning is what you also need to accumulate to graduate from Benedict Colleges. It's almost like work study, but you gain hours besides pay. Benedict is in the CIAC conference. We are a Division II where we have almost every sport from men's basketball to women's basketball to women's volleyball to men's volleyball. Some of the achievements and awards that we have won. Benedict was just named ranked number 1 in our conference with having the best band in the CIAC, which is the BCBOD. So as I was stating, in regards to tuition now is $23,000. Recently it was $28,000 with Dr. Artist. She lowered the tuition price, making us one of the most affordable private institutions. And here's how to apply. You will just go to benedict.edu, go to admissions and apply, or you can scan the QR code and it will send you right to the link. The contact information here, besides myself, it will be Miss Keisha Montgomery, which is our director, Joanna, which is another recruiter, and Devontae, who is also a recruiter. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you so much, Benedict College. We'll now have Spelman College.
Sorry, how do I?
All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you all so much again for inviting us to share a little bit of information regarding Spelman College. And let's get this party started. Hopefully you all can see my screen. Okay, so this is just a snapshot of Spelman College. We are a private HBCU. We're all women. Private, that conversation usually comes in terms of our tuition. So most notably, we only offer a domestic rate, which is for any student that is a US citizen. And then also for international students, we would have an international rate. We were foundationally based off of liberal arts. So for us, that means that doesn't mean that if you are a STEM student that we couldn't service you. What that means is that we're just going to ensure that every student receives the same type of foundational knowledge. If that's psychology, that can be sociology, even if you are a STEM major. And again, I noted that we are an all-women institution, but not to fear. We are a part of what we call the Atlanta University Center, which includes ourselves, Morehouse College, which is all men, and then we are also inclusive of Clark Atlanta University, which is on the other side of us as well. And note, as I also stated out when we first started out, we are an HBCU. Does that mean that if you are not of a student of color that you would not be able to apply with us? No, that does not. And also to note, we have been ranked as the #1 HBCU by US News, World and Report for the last 15 years. And we can attribute that to our amazing graduation rate as well as our retention rate. So those are some things that we are very, very, very proud of. If you've never heard of Spelman College, we are located in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia. Our population right now stands at 2,100, and our student faculty ratio stands at 11:1, with our average classroom size being about 23 students per classroom. And currently we are under the wonderful leadership of Dr. Mary Schmidt-Campbell. This is her final year with us, and we are going to miss her oh so much. All right, so let's talk a little bit about our academic programs. We currently have 34 majors and minors, anything from arts all the way down to theater studies and so many things in between. We offer pre-professional partnerships and programs. So anyone looking into pre-med, pre-nursing, pre-dentistry, pre-law, those types of partnerships, we do have some of those. We do have a few pipeline programs that would, for like our medical students, our pre-med students, that could pipeline the student from high school all the way throughout to medical school. So that is exciting. Our most popular programs right now are biology, economics, English, psychology, and then political science. So a few ways in which we support our students, career planning and development, which is really the reason why you're coming to college, is for that outcome. So they do a great job with our students there. Some health services for any student who may fall ill at any point on our campus. You can take advantage of that. We do have both math as well as science tutorial services available for our students. We do have counseling services available for students who are looking for licensed professionals to assist them through whatever life may be bringing on. And then last but not least, we do offer for students who have a 504 plan or an IEP, you would be able to work with our student access office, who would assist you with whatever accommodations you may need. As far as student life goes, we are the home to 85 student organizations currently. So many great traditions on our campus. I can't talk about them all, of course, due to time, but definitely check out our website. You would see some of those things there. We do, for our transfer student, offer commuter meal plans as well as off-campus housing services. And we do have a strong push for health and wellness on our campus as well. So talking about exactly what we're looking for in an applicant, we are holistic in our review approach. There is no minimum GPA that I could provide for you. I can provide an average. The average GPA for our transfer students is about a 3.2. We don't need any test scores from any students that have over 30 credit hours, so you wouldn't need to worry about that. So the other components that I'm looking for in relation to a Spelman student would be demonstrated leadership involvement, community service, as well as a strong ability to convey thoughts and ideas through the essay portion of our application. And this slide just talks a little bit about our deadlines. This year, we are not reviewing for spring, so we're only reviewing for fall at this time. Our fall deadline will be coming up on April 1st. We would need application would need to include your official transcripts from all institutions that you've attended. And then your decision will be noted 1 month after the deadline, which is April 1st. So you would receive your decision from us on May 1st. And then all transcripts will be evaluated after you have been admitted to Spelman. Everything at the bottom would need to be submitted with your application. So those are some things that I also wanted to make sure that you are aware of. You don't need to worry about submitting your transcript or your test scores for us this year, as we are test optional this year. Cost of attendance right now stands at $29,972. That is tuition and fees rolled into one. 85% of our students do receive financial aid. That is a listing below that shows you all the things that student fees do include. And then that is it. This is my staff here. This is my contact information. I do appreciate your time with us today. Thank you so much again for inviting us out, and I'll be available to answer any questions that you may have about Spelman College. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Spelman College. We will round it out with the University of South Carolina.
Awesome, thank you. Let me get my screen sharing going. All right, are we good? And
Yes, I can see it.
okay, awesome, thank you. All right, thank you everyone so much for being here. My name is Allison Scheide, and I am the Assistant Director for Transfer Partnerships and Recruitment here in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions at the University of South Carolina. So we are located in the state capital of South Carolina, Columbia, and we are just a few blocks away from the State House, really incorporated into the downtown life of Columbia. But while we are, considered an urban campus, we have been around for quite a while. We were founded in 1801. So the historic part of our campus, known as the Horseshoe, was the original campus of the university back in the 1800s, and we've just grown from there. So some academic information about the University of South Carolina. So we have more than 300 different combinations of majors, minors, concentrations, cognates. So there's a really good chance that if you're wanting to do it, we likely have it. Maybe the two biggest things that we really don't have are architecture and agriculture, but most everything else, between a combination of majors and minors and cognates, concentrations, things like that, we could really get students almost any type of academic experience they are looking for. We do have 56 nationally ranked programs here at the University of South Carolina. That is the most in the state of South Carolina and more than all other schools in the state of South Carolina combined. So we have some really fantastic programs. Some notable ones are our International Business Program, which is on its 23rd consecutive year of being the #1 ranked program. Our Sport Sciences majors, which include Sport Entertainment Management, Exercise Science, and Physical Education, have been ranked #1 since 2016. Retailing, which has been a #4 globally ranked program for a number of years, and our Hotel, Restaurant, and Tourism Management majors, those have been historically in the top 10 nationally for a number of years as well. So while we're a big school, we have 27,000 undergraduate students. We have a lot of faculty, which means our student to faculty ratio is a 17-to-1. So by the time you're in your major classes, really in those upper level courses, you're getting a lot of one-on-one time with your instructor, and you're really getting to know them, which will be great for if you're going on to a professional school and need a letter of reference, or if you're wanting to do research and really getting involved with what they are researching. So speaking of research, we are one of 50 public universities in the United States to receive the Carnegie Foundation's classification of the highest research activity and community engagement. So there's a lot of research happening. And when I say research, it doesn't just have to be, in a lab with test tubes and beakers. Every single department on our campus is doing research. There's a lot of things to get involved with. So a little bit about our application process. The minimum GPA to be admitted to U of SC is a 2.25. However, some majors do have higher requirements ranging all the way up to a 3.25, and some majors do have a calculus prerequisite that is needed. If a student has 30 college credit hours, we no longer require any high school information. Students who have under 30 college credit hours do have to meet our freshman requirements as well. So we require your completed U of SC transfer application. That's just on our website. It's not on Common App or anything like that. We actually do allow students to apply with unofficial transcripts, just the college transcripts. If you need to send a high school one, that does have to be official, but the college transcripts can be unofficial, which has been a great time and money saver for our students. We are technically test optional for all of our 2022 applications. There may be really weird one-off situations where we're requesting a test score from a student, but by and large, we are test optional for students who have under 30 college credit hours. When you complete the application, you'll include your basic demographic information. You'll pick 2 majors. It's not a double major, it's a first choice and a second choice. You'll upload your transcripts. It's a pretty straightforward application. It's probably going to take you about 10 to 15 minutes to do, depending on if you need to track down those unofficial transcripts. We don't require or utilize any essays, letters of recommendation, or resumes, activities, interests list, or anything like that. It's a pretty straightforward GPA-based application. So when you are applying, we want students to consider the GPA requirements for the different majors that they're putting on their application. So always pick a first choice major that has a higher GPA requirement than your second choice major. I have a lot of students who apply to broadcast journalism as their first choice major, which has a 2.5, and then sport and entertainment management as a second choice major, which has a 3.0. But if they don't meet requirements for a major with a 2.5, they're definitely not going to meet requirements for a major that requires a 3.0. Nursing and business are only first choice majors. I don't even think we allow you to pick them as a second choice major. So if you're thinking about applying for spring 2022, you still have a few more weeks to do that. November 1st is that deadline. The summer and fall applications will open up in February, and we ideally want them done by May 1st for summer and for nursing and business majors for the fall. All other majors have until July 1st to apply with us. So that's a pretty decent amount of time from the time the application opens in February until July 1st to really make that decision. But obviously, the earlier you apply, the earlier we can typically get a decision turned around and sent back out to you. So only applications with all transcripts on file receive decisions, because that's how we know you're going to meet the requirements. The biggest thing I want to hit on from this slide is that business does not accept students for the spring semester. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. If you want business, please wait and apply in the summer or fall. So that's the University of South Carolina in a nutshell. Feel free to reach out to me via this email here. I'd be more than happy to chat with you about any other questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you, University of South Carolina. I'd now like to invite everyone to turn their cameras back on for a quick Q&A that we will start with Francis Marion University. So Francis Marion University, what advice would you give someone going through the transfer process?
I would say do your research, tour the campus. If they have open houses available, do those. That way you'll have the opportunity to talk with the faculty and staff and students, because sometimes when you tour the campus, you don't always get to talk with students or see the faculty. But on our campus with our open house events, you are able to talk with both. And also when you're on the campus, just feel free to make yourself seem like you are a student on that campus so that you are comfortable there.
And then what's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
We have that family vibe feeling once you're on campus. You feel that from the drive in. And also those relationships that you establish with your professor and the students are meaningful. Although our academics are rigorous, you your education is valued here. I'm like, I am a 2-time alum, and if I could receive a 3rd degree, I would. Unfortunately, we don't have that doctorate level there, but I would receive a 3rd degree if I could.
Thank you. Southern Wesleyan University, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
Just like Karen said about Francis Marion, the relationships. That's one thing that's very special about Southern Wesleyan. When students come to campus, when we can get them on campus to do a visit on campus, our ratio is about 80%, 80 to 85% of those students end up attending there. It's the relationships that they have with their professors, but also with their admissions counselors, with their success coaches, everybody that works with them through the process. It's the relationships, I think, is the key to the university. That's one thing I'd like for students to not to forget about that, not to forget about the school.
Thank you. And then what is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admission process?
That is difficult. I think the one thing that we get a lot of students say is this is so difficult. It's really not. If I had to give students any advice, it would be to start early, especially with a transfer student, with the students coming in from different universities, especially if you've attended several different universities. We've got a lot of students that come in from the military who have several transcripts when they come in. And so start that process early, start getting those transcripts in early. The earlier, the better. That way we can evaluate them and give you a true picture of what you're going to get transferred in.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Benedict College, same question. What's one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process?
Can you ask that question one more time? Sorry.
Sure. What is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process?
Everyone thinks that we need a I'm sorry. Okay, so one myth, which is really simple, is that Benedict requires an essay for admissions. And right now we do not require an essay to gain admissions for Benedict.
And then what's one thing you want people to remember about your school?
Well, for one, we have the best president in the world. Dr. Rosalind Clark Artist is like the mother of Benedict College. She celebrates her students. She makes sure that they are well taken care of. And she uplifts other HBCUs as well. So, we do not put other schools down. We definitely are sister HBCUs, but we are the HBCU that puts BC in HBCUs.
Thank you so much. Spelman College, what advice would you give someone going through the transfer process?
Listen, I say just take your time and go through it just little by little, piece by piece. Don't overthink it. All of us that are reviewing applications, we are people. Some of us have been through this platform before, just as a transfer student. I know I have. I transferred 7 times in college. That is not a joke. That is in real life. So I consider myself a transfer student professional. But I just say, just take your time through it. Remember the whys, remember why you're applying, why you're interested in this school, whichever schools that you're applying to. So those are probably my pieces of advice.
And then what's one thing you want people to remember about your school?
There can't just be one. So the one thing I would say about Spelman is that the traditions are sensational. And it's just something that I just, as a person who is not an alum and kind of being outside looking in, the sisterhood piece of our school is just something that I find so very unique and so much needed in this world right now. So I would say those 2 things. I just had to sneak that second one in.
Thank you so much. University of South Carolina, what do you want people to remember about your school?
So I think the fact that we're a really big school can feel intimidating, but just knowing that we have that very small student to faculty ratio, so you're going to get that one-on-one experience that some people might not necessarily associate with a large public flagship university. So we're a big school and have all of the big school resources, but there's a lot of ways to get that small college feel. You just kind of got to find your pockets, but we have a lot of pockets for students to really get plugged in and make a big school seem a little bit smaller.
All right. And so what is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process?
One myth that we're constantly debunking on the transfer and freshman side is that colleges are looking for a reason to deny students. We are looking for reasons to admit students. We are the Office of Admissions, not the Office of Denials. So that's the one thing that we always tell students is that we are wanting to look for every reason possible to be able to admit a student to the university, not to deny.
All right, thank you all so much for being panelists today. And I would like to thank you all for attending and joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. You'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/Carolinas. Thank you all so much and have a great one.